She tested you. And you had no idea it was even happening. That moment, she went cold out of nowhere. That time, she picked a fight over something that felt completely meaningless. That night, she pulled away right when things were going so well between you two. You thought she was being difficult. You thought she was emotional. You maybe even thought she was crazy. But she wasn't. She was watching you. She was measuring you. She was running a quiet, invisible test to see if you were the kind of man she could actually trust with her heart. And if you failed, and most men do, she didn't explain why she started to lose interest. She just did. Here's the hard truth. Women do not test men to be cruel. They test men because they have been hurt before, because they need to know, at a deep biological level, whether you are solid or whether you will crumble when real life gets hard. And the men who understand this, who learn how to respond with strength, warmth, and calm, those are the men women stay for. Those are the men women choose again and again for the rest of their lives. Today, I'm going to give you 5 specific moves that will not only help you pass her tests, they will make her feel so safe with you that she stops feeling the need to test you as much in the first place. Welcome back, my friend. If this is your first time here, I'm so glad you found this channel. This is a space where we talk honestly about relationships, female psychology, and how to become the kind of man who creates deep, lasting love, not through tricks or manipulation, but through genuine understanding and strength of character. I'm your host, and we've helped thousands of men rebuild confidence and connection in their relationships. If that sounds like something you need in your life, hit subscribe right now so you never miss a video. And stay till the end today because the hidden truth I'm going to share near the finish of this video is something that almost no one talks about. And it might be the most important thing you ever hear about relationships. Let's get into it. The first move is to stay emotionally calm when she escalates. When a woman raises her voice, gets cold, or starts a conflict that seems to come from nowhere, the average man either gets defensive and argues back, or he crumbles and starts apologizing for things he didn't even do. Both responses fail the test. What she is actually doing, underneath all of that emotion, is checking whether you can be her safe harbor when the storm hits. Can you stay steady? Because if you lose your composure when she gets upset, how will you handle a real crisis, a financial disaster, a sick child, a family emergency? Dr. John Gottman, the legendary relationship researcher at the University of Washington, spent over 40 years studying couples. One of his most consistent findings was that emotional regulation, the ability to stay calm under relational pressure, was one of the single greatest predictors of long-term relationship success. The men who could self-soothe and stay grounded kept their relationships. The men who couldn't, didn't. Think about a guy named Marcus. His girlfriend would get frustrated and say things like, "You never really listened to me." In the past, Marcus would get angry and list all the ways he did listen. But after learning to regulate, he started pausing, taking a slow breath, and saying quietly, "Tell me more. I want to understand." She would look at him, visibly soften, and within minutes the tension would dissolve. She told him months later that those moments were when she knew he was different from any man she had ever been with. Stay calm. That is power. That is safety. That is exactly what she is looking for. The second move is to hold your frame under pressure. Frame is simply your sense of self, your values, your perspective, your confidence in who you are. When she challenges your opinion, disagrees with your decisions, or pushes back on your boundaries, she is often testing whether you actually believe in yourself. Because a man who folds under pressure the moment a woman raises an eyebrow is not a man she can lean on. This does not mean being stubborn or dismissive. It means staying grounded in your position while remaining open and respectful. Psychologist Robert Cialdini's research on influence and social dynamics shows that people, including women in romantic relationships, naturally feel more drawn to and trusting of individuals who maintain consistent, confident positions, rather than shifting their stance to gain approval. There was a man named Daniel whose girlfriend constantly challenged his career choices, his social circle, his weekend plans. Every time she pushed, he would change course to keep the peace. Until one day, he didn't. She pushed back on a trip he had planned with his friends. He looked at her calmly and said, I hear you. I love you. And I'm going because this matters to me. She was quiet for a moment. Then she smiled and said, Okay, have a great trip. He told me later that was the weekend something shifted in their relationship for the better. Here's something most men never realize, and it's going to change the way you see everything that comes next. The third move is to lead with decisive action, not endless discussion. Many men today have been taught that the way to be a good partner is to constantly ask, to always defer, to make every decision a committee vote. What do you want to do? Whatever you want, I'm fine with anything. And while that sounds respectful on the surface, what it actually does is exhaust her. Because now she has to carry the emotional and mental load of every decision, which is exactly what she was hoping you would relieve her from. Dr. David Buss, an evolutionary psychologist at the University of Texas, has written extensively on how women across virtually every culture in the world are attracted to men who demonstrate decisive leadership. Not dominance, not control. Leadership. There is a profound difference. A woman named Priya once told me about her ex-boyfriend. She said, he was kind, he was sweet, but every time I asked him where we should eat, where we should travel, what we should do on weekends, he just said, you decide. I felt completely alone even when he was sitting right next to me. The man she eventually fell deeply in love with was someone who would say, I'm taking you somewhere Friday night, dress nicely, trust me. She said that man made her feel chosen, guided, and safe. Make a decision. Lead her somewhere. She will follow a man she trusts. The fourth move is to never chase her energy. When she pulls away, the instinct for most men is to panic and pursue. More texts, more calls, more reassurance seeking. And every time you chase, you communicate one thing. I am afraid of losing you. And fear is not attractive. Fear is not the foundation of desire. Attachment theory, originally developed by John Bowlby and expanded by researchers like Dr. Sue Johnson, shows that anxious attachment behaviors, clinging, over-pursuing, constant reassurance seeking, actually push emotionally avoidant partners further away, creating a painful cycle that destroys relationships from the inside out. A man named Kevin was so afraid his girlfriend would leave that he texted her every hour when she went quiet. She felt suffocated and started pulling away more. When Kevin finally learned to pause, to give her space, to trust himself and the relationship enough to let her come back on her own terms, she came back faster, warmer, and more affectionate than ever. She later told him, when you stopped chasing, I felt like you finally trusted us. And after all four of those moves, here is the one that ties everything together, the one I promised you at the beginning. The fifth move is to see her tests as love, not war. This is the hidden truth. She is not testing you because she wants to hurt you. She is testing you because she is desperate to trust you. She has been let down before. She has been with men who seemed solid and then disappeared. Her tests are not attacks. They are invitations. They are her heart saying, show me you are real. Show me you will stay. Show me I am safe with you. The moment you stop resenting her tests and start understanding them as the deepest form of her vulnerability, everything changes. A woman named Sarah had been through 2 painful divorces. When she met her current husband, she pushed hard. She tested constantly. He told me once, I realized she wasn't trying to break me. She was trying to find out if I was breakable. He passed every test not because he was perfect, but because he stayed warm, stayed present, and never stopped choosing her. They have been together 11 years now. She told me he is the first man she has ever fully trusted. So let's bring this home. Stay calm when she escalates. That is your anchor. Hold your frame under pressure. That is your strength. Lead with decisive action. That is your gift to her. Never chase her energy. That is your self-respect. And see her tests as love. That is your wisdom. You don't have to be a perfect man. You have to be a present one, a grounded one, a man who understands what she is really asking for beneath the surface of every challenge she throws at you. That man, the one who gets this, is the man she will never want to leave. If this video opened your eyes today, please give it a like right now. It helps this channel reach more men who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below and tell me. What is one test you now realize you failed in the past, and what would you do differently today? I read every single comment, and if you are not subscribed yet, hit that button. This community is growing every week with men who are choosing to understand rather than give up. Next week, I am going to talk about something even deeper. Why the woman who seems the most difficult to love is often the one who will love you the hardest once you prove you can handle her. You do not want to miss that one. I'll see you there.